You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report, episode 174.1, our daily update on high school, college, and professional sports in Central Indiana, with a little bit of major national sports news, anything that may be of interest to Central Indiana sports fans.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whenever you've chosen to listen to the Central Indiana Sports Report, we are thrilled to have you with us today. Today is February 10th, 2025. It's a Monday, so it's another day for the Central Indiana Sports Report. I'm your host, Greg Mengelt, and I love Central Indiana sports. Coming to you today from Stage 22 in Elwood, producer Susie is in the control room in Jeffersonville, and we will be back to our normal schedule starting tomorrow, unless anything else unforeseen pops up and causes a hindrance. But through the holidays and through January, our coverage has dipped a little bit because of various reasons. Starting on Tuesday, we will be back with full boys basketball scoreboards. We'll hear from reporters and head coaches and players, and of course, we'll continue to update the girls basketball with the regionals coming up. Have several local teams involved. And we'll talk about wrestling with a lot of wrestlers headed to the semi-state. And we will start to turn our attention to the boys postseason. And then, of course, spring sports. And we will be here every single day on the Central Indiana Sports Report Daily Update. If nothing else, of course, this is our flagship program, our daily podcast. Everything else is when I can get it done and when there are big events to talk about. I also expect to have Michelle Garman back with me a little later this week. Coming up, we have details on Super Bowl licks. IU's and Purdue's women's basketball teams and softball teams were in action on Sunday. And we also have our boys basketball results from Saturday, since I didn't get a chance to do them yesterday. It was a 40-minute daily update, even without it. And we look ahead to Monday's highlights. Before we get to all that, please go like, subscribe, or follow us at SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, or YouTube so you don't miss a single segment. Please do that for us. The Philadelphia Eagles won their 5th World Championship and 2nd Super Bowl title and denied Kansas City its historical destiny by dominating the Chiefs 40-22 in New Orleans in Super Bowl 59. Had to think what LIX was because I've been saying Super Bowl licks all week because it's just easier than 59 and more fun. The Eagles led 24-0 at halftime, and it wasn't even that close. The Philadelphia defense, of course, was dominant, and Jalen Hurts threw for 221 yards and 2 touchdowns and ran for 72 yards and another touchdown and was named Super Bowl MVP. But the story was the Eagles' defense, which sacked Patrick Mahomes 6 times and pressured him the entire night and intercepted him twice, including Cooper DeJean's interception for a touchdown that put the Eagles ahead 17-0 5 minutes into the second quarter and seemed to, at least in my mind, cement things pretty early in that game. Saquon Barkley was keyed on by the Kansas City defense and had just 57 yards rushing, but became the NFL's all-time leading single-season rusher when playoffs are included, with 2,504 yards. The first running back ever to go over 2,500 yards rushing in a season. He broke Terrell Davis's record from 1998. The Chiefs were named the 2025 favorites following the game on Sunday, followed by the Eagles, Lions, Bills, Ravens, and Packers. I spoke with Hanson Crafton on Sunday night about the Eagles' performance and the 2024 season. That came out at 5 o'clock in the morning and I thought was probably worth a listen. In women's college basketball, Minnesota ended Indiana's 3-game winning streak by beating the Hoosiers 66-56 Sunday at IU. The game was tied at 29 seconds into the third period, but the Gophers went on a 29-16 run to take control. The Hoosiers were led by 12 points apiece from Caroline Striplin and Shea Seesky. The Hoosiers are now 15-8 overall and 7-5 in the Big Ten. Amaya Battle had a game-high 16 points for 19-6 Minnesota. Purdue lost for the 10th time in its last 11 games, 78-69 at Rutgers. 8-15 Purdue was led by freshman Sophie Swanson, 17 points off the bench. Rutgers' JoJo Lacey had a game-high 22 points. In college softball, IU improved to 4-1 on the season with a 7-5 win over Iowa State on Sunday. Senior Taylor Minnick broke a 5-5 tie with a 2 RBI triple in the 6th inning. Madeline Strader was 2 for 2 and scored twice, and Melina Wilson was 2 for 4 with 2 runs and 2 RBIs. Purdue took 2 losses in a split doubleheader, 4-3 in 8 innings against Utah State, and 11-0 in 5 innings against host Texas A&M in College Station. Sophomore outfielder Mariah Poehler was 3 for 4 and put the Boilermakers ahead 3-2 in the third with an RBI single in the loss to Utah State. Now to some boys basketball from Saturday. Frankton won its 5th straight game and maybe its biggest win of the year on Saturday with a 51-44 overtime victory over visiting Taylor. Frankton is above 500 for the first time this season. Taylor led 16-8 after one quarter, 24-19 at the half, and 30-26 after 3 quarters. The Titans have lost 3 straight and are 13-4. Freshman Cooper Leininger scored 15 points, and 3 of his teammates finished with 13 in Tri-Central's 79-63 win over Elwood at the historic Hoosier Gym in Knightstown. Senior Drake Ramsier, senior Izzy Fowler, and junior Jay Jankowiak scored 13 apiece for the 8-10 Trojans. Ramsier had 6 steals and 5 assists. Elwood is now 2-13 and has lost 8 games in a row. Jaden Mullins had 15 points, 7 assists, and 4 steals for the Panthers. Elwood has a really good chance to end their losing streak tonight when they go to Indianapolis to face winless GEO Next Generation, which is in its 2nd year of existence. Big road win for Madison Grant on Saturday, 63-53 at West Dell. With point guard Xavier Yagi out sick, junior Brock Barnhart led the way with 5 3-pointers and 23 points in the win. Seniors Ike Almeida and Luke Gilman combined for 26 points for the Argyles, who are now 6-9 on the season. Julian Carpenter had a game-high 27 points for West Dell. He also had 9 rebounds and 6 assists in the loss. Alexandria won 52-47 at Morristown on Saturday. The Tigers are now 5-13 on the season. Delta is 12-5 after Saturday's 58-49 win over Mississinewa. Delta senior Jordan Fernie and the Mississinewa duo of freshman Ravion Fetz and senior Keontae Woods all had game highs of 17 points. Mississinewa is now 8-8. Tipton improved to 12-6 on the season with a 51-41 win over Shenandoah at home. Grady Carpenter had 15 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists to lead Tipton. Junior Zane Mitchell paced the Raiders with 11 points. Hamilton Heights won for its 7th time in its last 8 games with a 65-61 overtime win at Winchester on Saturday. The Huskies outscored Winchester 18-14 in the 4th quarter to force overtime, then outscored the Falcons 7-3 in the extra session. Senior Tyler Champion had 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 steals for Heights. Junior Reese Knapp and seniors Carson Felger and Gavin Saunders finished with 12 points apiece. Number 2, Greenfield Central is 17-2 after a 70-49 win over Greenwood. Braylon Mullins finished with 44 points. He was 15 for 21 from the field. 3A number 4 New Palestine is 18-2 after its 11th consecutive victory, 77-64 over Southport on Saturday, coming from behind to get the win. Julius Jeezy had 26 points and he was 10 for 16 shooting. That is a really good duo in that conference. Delphi beat Rensselaer Central 73-29. 10 different Oracles scored in the win, led by 15 points from junior Caden McAtee. Rossville beat Fountain Central 57-42. Northfield dropped Eastern to 6-10 by beating the Comets 41-34 Saturday in Greentown. Eastern junior Colton Lindsay finished with 16 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals, and became the 7th Comet ever to reach the 1,000-point milestone. Seton Catholic won its 4th straight game, 69-49 at Daleville. Jason Moynihan led 4 Cardinals in double figures with 19 points. Class 2A number 2 Wapahani is 16-1 and 4-0 in the Mid-Eastern Conference, the only league unbeaten team, after beating Union 83-35. 4 Raiders scored in double figures. Junior Camden Bell had 19, senior Nate Luce 18, senior Brock Zickgraf 14, and junior Eli Andrews finished with 10. Eastern Hancock won 68-21 at Cowan. Senior Gentry Grove scored 10 of the Blackhawks' 21 points. Liberty Christian is 11-7 after a 101-68 loss to Lawrence Central. It's the first time the Lions have surrendered 100 points in a game in more than 6 years. Cambridge City beat Burris 90-40. Gavin Mitchell led the Owls with 10 points. It was Southwood 67, North Miami 63. Junior Bryce Wilcox had 36 points and 12 rebounds. 7 of his rebounds were on the offensive end. Number 1 Fishers beat Peoria Manual from Illinois 85-55. The Tigers led 46-21 at halftime. Garin Catholic beat Culver Academy 51-28. Sophomore Jake Grisham's 21 points led Garin. And Westfield beat Mooresville 58-55 behind 22 points from Durante Morton. Cathedral beat Louisville Trinity 79-70. And in Lafayette, it was Harrison 70, Central Catholic 53. Malachi King had 29 points and 8 rebounds for Harrison. And it was Jeff 53, West Lafayette 35. Alonzo Clausen Smith is on quite a roll. 29 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals. On Monday, besides the Elwood basketball game, we have 4 girls basketball sectional championships across the state, all of them in the Fort Wayne-ish area. In 4A, 12-11, and defending sectional champion Snyder is at 16-7 Northrop. And number 3, Homestead hosts 14-9 Huntington North. And in Class A, 21-2 and 5th-ranked Tri-County takes on 12-12 Pioneer at West Central. And 19-6 and 9th-ranked Fremont goes against 14-11 Blackhawk. We'll have all the sectional results and regional matchups for you on Tuesday's Central Indiana Sports Report sometime in the afternoon. Also Monday, the Indiana Mad Ants, who are 11-6 on the season and 3rd in the East, is at College Park to take on the 10-6 Skyhawks. College Park is an affiliate of the Atlanta Hawks. The game is scheduled for 7. And now you know everything we know about Central Indiana sports. It's a slow Monday, so we won't have a whole lot for you on Tuesday. We do expect to have the new boys basketball polls, and we will have all 3 of those polls for you on Tuesday's Daily Update. Appreciate you listening. I hope you'll come back tomorrow. And if you would do us a huge favor and tell a friend, you have no idea how much that would help us grow the Central Indiana Sports Report. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And I love Central.